Mentor groups are an essential part of the Summit Prep life, and we wanted to make an article featuring the differences and similarities between the Summit Prep mentor groups. And so we decided to interview 2 mentors and 2 mentees about their experience in the Summit Prep mentor life.
So a mentor group is basically a group of 20 to 30 kids they're supposed to have the same mentor all 4 years. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. And the mentor helps them with things in PLT, checking in with them and seeing how they're doing in school. They help them with the college process, and they're just kind of an adult support system.
My name is Carter Reed. I'm a student at Summit Prep, and I am in 10th grade.
I am Lacey Gonzalez, Miss Gonzalez to the students, and I'm a 9th grade education specialist and a 10th grade mentor.
How do you feel about your mentor group experience so far?
So far I've had a good mentor group experience. I've been lucky to have a nice mentor who pushes me to do well in school and just to be better as a person. I think the mentor groups just have a really good effect on the students, for sure. So I've had a good experience with it.
And is this your first mentor, or have you had multiple?
I've had multiple mentors. That's one thing I think could be improved on, is because, my first mentor promised she'd be there to senior year, and other things came up, but so it's kind of one of those things, but I'm really happy with this mentor, and I really hope she stays.
I think so far, every time I talk about my mentor group, I always say how exceptionally grateful I am to have the mentor group that I do, because we don't really have many issues, and all of the students in my mentor group want to be in school and want to do well in school, and so I really appreciate my mentees with their varying personalities and loud days, but they're awesome.
Do you have mentor check-ins often? If so, how do you feel during the check-ins, and are they helpful?
We have mentor check-ins usually once a week, if not once every 2 weeks. And I think they're helpful because it kind of lets you just catch up with your mentor, but also they help you focus on your grades, tell you what you need to be doing better, and just kind of keep you on track. So I definitely think they're helpful.
Yeah, like Carter said, mentor check-ins happen we would like them to happen once a week, but most of the time they're either once a week or once every 2 weeks, depending on the student. Just because for those that we do feel need more support, we try to make sure that we see them at the beginning of every week so we can plan their week academically and just check in with the individuals who are struggling a little bit and just need a little bit more love and need some talking to. And yeah.
What is one thing that your mentor or your mentees do well, and what is one way that they can improve?
I think one thing mentors, all of them do well, is just caring for their students, because that's part of the job. But they always care, and they care. Helping you. As to improve on, I'm not really sure. I haven't really thought about that because there's nothing really flawed I've noticed. So it's pretty good on that part.
Yeah, I think my mentees how do I put this? They're incredibly resilient. They get shut down a lot with contents because what student at Summit doesn't, but they always pick it back up and they're able to say no, I'm going to try this again, or I'm going to study in a different way besides just getting shut down. And it was really evident in their PLPs how much they all wanted to succeed. And so I think that's a strength of my mentor group. One thing I would like them to work on is probably their investment in themselves as whole people. I see them investing a lot in their academics, and I really, really appreciate that investment. But when it comes to more HCC work and social emotional learning, I don't think they quite understand the value of it, but they will see it later when they look back and they're oh, maybe I should have put more effort into this, because they're wonderful academically and they're wonderful people, but they need to continue growing the habits that will make them successful in the future.
Cool. What do you think of the mentor group system Summit has?
There's really nothing wrong with the system, I'd say. And can you give a little more clarification to the question?
Summit Public Schools, they're like the only schools with the mentor group system, or
Right.
there's more schools with it, but they really focus on that. And then when you go to open houses and events, they really try to push that as one of the driving forces students should come to Summit.
Hmm.
What do you think of the whole idea of the mentor group having the same kids for all
Oh, yeah.
your senior year?
I mean, I think it's good because I know personally I've become close with a lot of my mentees, and it's someone you can see because we see our mentor groups every day, and it's just like they're friendly faces, you know, and you know if you get in a fight with someone in your mentor group, you have to work it out because you're with them for 4 years, and but I mean, I think it really just helps the community because we do, you know, stuff at Summit like games with the mentor group competitions with prizes and stuff like that, and I think it's like it really gives you a sense of community and even like family at school.
Yeah, I have to agree with everything that Carter said. Mentor groups are something that really drew me to Summit when I was interviewing, and I always enjoyed that mentor-mentee aspect, not only like being the mentee of like some of my high school teachers, but also like being a mentor to students who are younger than me, and so I think they're extremely valuable in building community, like Carter said, giving you that family when you're going through so many different emotions and experiences during high school. I think it's a nice grounding experience for all students.
And the last question is, do you think a mentor group system should be incorporated into more public high schools, such as Sequoia, which is like right over there, and if so, why?
That's a little difficult because Sequoia is like exponentially a way bigger school. I mean, I think mentor group systems are great, but I feel like for now at least they should be kept at smaller schools because we're still, you know, working things out. And but I feel like in the future it would be a really good thing to have, for sure.
I agree. I think more teenagers and just more students in general need like consistent and positive adult figures in their life, and if we can make that like a systematic thing at every school, then it'll benefit so many different students like across the nation. I do agree that it would be interesting to implement at a bigger school, but I mean like every school is like a homeroom or an advisory.
Yeah.
And so if you stick with those people, you're building that community and that culture within that one group, and having that follow you for 4 years can be an amazing and transformative experience.
What is your name and role/grade?
My name is Malia Vea. I'm an 11th grader. I'm here at Summit Prep.
I'm Crystal Sogar. I'm the 11th grade English teacher and an 11th grade mentor.
How do you feel about your mentor group experience so far?
Oh, it's amazing.
It's a very different kind of style. I've never experienced mentor groups before, like when I was in high school or where I've taught elsewhere, but I really like it. It's a really interesting concept to get to know kids really well for 4 years. I feel like we're family. It was really hard at first getting to know kids. They weren't super excited that I was joining the mentor group, but I think that we've grown a lot.
Do you have mentor check-ins often? If so, how do you feel during a check-in, and are they helpful?
Yeah, they're helpful. God bless.
Do you have them often, and how do you feel
Yeah, I
during
have
them?
them very often, like 2 times a week, 1 time a week. It depends how I'm feeling. But I always come to her first, so.
I would say that I don't do check-ins as often as I should. I think it's really hard to run PLT and do check-ins at the same time, especially when kids like aren't super motivated to pass content or to work on projects. So I usually prioritize that first. I also would say that I don't always do check-ins during mentor PLT, but more of like when I see kids in the hall or like send them messages or things like that. I think that check-ins are really important. I just don't like the format, I guess.
What is one thing your mentors and mentees do well, and what is one way they can improve?
I think this year my mentees have shown a lot of growth in being able to like come into mentor PLT and get started right away. Last year, I think that like I had to tell them or prompt them like this is what you should be working on or prioritizing. And this year, as 11th graders, they're really good at being like, I need to pass this content or do this project, or here's how I'm going to raise my grade. Something that they could work on, I think, would be just like coming together more as a mentor group. I think our mentor group's really cliquey. and I would like to see more people interact from different cliques.
What do you think of the whole mentor group the mentor group system that Summit has?
I think it's really good because I think that some students here don't have the same supports that other students do, so they do need that extra like adult looking out for them. I think in some ways some people are a little bit too dependent on their mentors, especially like now that we're applying to colleges. The seniors are depending a lot on their mentors, and it's scaring me for when they actually go to college. But overall, I think it's really important to have that relationship with adults and be able to make relationships with people that are very different from you.
Do you think a mentor group system should be incorporated in more public high schools? If so, why?
No, I don't think so. It just doesn't cut out right. Like, it's good for Summit because, like, there's, like, some people. But, like, public schools, there's, like, a lot. So, that's a lot.
I think that it would be really hard to implement in large schools. I worked at a school before I came here that had 5,000 students, and I don't think that there's just like enough teachers to have mentor groups. And if they did have mentor groups, they'd be like 30 like kids, and I just don't know how this schedule would work because a lot of public schools don't have the schedule flexibility that Summit has. I do think that it's like a really good program though, and it's really beneficial to our students, and I wish that other schools would be able to implement it.